There's 10 most scariest movies ever made, and we got a list right here. Well, welcome to Mixed In. Now, I'm a fan of scary movies, aren't you?
I would say I'm a little bit of a fan. Yeah.
Well, there's a list on MSN that has 10 most scariest movies ever made. And I know what they are. I've got the list here.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what order it's in.
I've not let him see it. But I did cut out all of the all of the movies here.
Yeah.
And they're not in any order that he knows of.
Yeah.
So I'm asking William to see if he can come up with the top 10.
I'm going to put in my top 10, what I think might be the top 10. There are some movies on here, though, I've never heard of. So the first one is Nightmare on Elm Street, which has got to be up there fairly high. I mean,
are you saying that's like the number 10 or the number 1?
So number 1 is the most scariest.
Yeah.
And then it goes down. So that would probably be up number 2 or 3 or maybe even 1. The Exorcist, actually, I'm going to put that one at number 1 right now. That's going to be above Nightmare on Elm Street because the whole contortion of the body thing going on, that right there just kind of freaks me out.
I guess that's supposed to be the first one.
The Exorcist is the first one, yeah.
The Nightmare on Elm Street.
This is the first one? Isn't that the one with Johnny Depp in it?
There's several Nightmare.
Yeah, it's like 10 of them.
This one is the 1984.
1984? I think that's the
So it says, before dream killer Freddy Krueger became a quipping pop culture reference. He represented the most twisted monster unleashed on the public since Halloween's Michael Myers. So, seeking vengeance by slicing and dicing the children of the parents who murdered him, Freddy scared the hell out of Cineplex audiences. His on-screen entrance remains terrifying, as does much of director Wes Craven's surreal, smart, and shocking masterpiece.
Nice. There are some in here I don't know, though, like Don't Look Now. Never heard of that one before. Eraserhead. Repulsion.
The Repulsion is an old one, 1965.
Okay. And what is that? Suspiria?
Suspiria? That's
Suspiria?
1977.
Never heard of those ones. But Night of the Living Dead, that's that's one of my actual all-time favorites.
It's kind of old, too. That's 1968.
Yeah. I like the newer version, like the remake of it, the 1994 version, I think, has Tony Todd in it. It's really cool, but it's not so much as horrifying as all these other ones. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Boom, that's going to be right below Nightmare on Elm Street. It might even possibly be, I'm just going to put it above it, because that one itself, when it came out, was kind of based, they said it was based on a true story, but the actual true story behind it was quite different. But it's still, the whole killing of people thing is terrifying.
Yeah.
Halloween, I'm going to put that above Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because that is one of my favorites still, and that one did kind of freak me out.
This was 1978, Halloween is.
1978, yeah, it should be the first one, I believe.
This is John Carpenter's. It doesn't say whether it's the first one or the other one. But,
yeah. Psycho, we're going to put that above Nightmare on Elm Street. Night of the Living Dead, Psycho. Because that one right there, it's more of a psychological horror than
Very
anything.
much, yeah.
And then the other ones, I want to put them towards the bottom, even though I don't know. They might go somewhere else I've never seen before. Eraserhead sounds kind of freaky.
Wow, Psycho is an old one.
Yeah. What's his face?
Alfred
Hitchcock, yeah. The guy had a pretty wicked imagination. Don't Look Now. I mean, come on. That sounds kind of scary. Suspiria and Repulsion. Sure. Why not? So there's my list. That's how I think it went.
That's your list?
That's my list,
so
I think.
This is the
Exorcist.
this is the most scary that you think?
No, this is the most scary. This is number 1, going down to 10.
Okay.
So the most scariest one, I think, is The Exorcist.
Okay, well, the actual most scary movie is not The Exorcist.
No.
Okay. Here. My list goes in an order like this. Oops. What was it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's countdown.
Yeah, okay, it's a countdown.
So the least scariest to you is Repulsion.
Yeah.
And then Suspiria.
Yeah, Don't Look Now.
And Eraserhead. Night of the Living Dead, somewhere in the middle. And Psycho is right in the middle for you. Nightmare on Elm Street is the fourth scariest movie you've ever seen, or you think is, is this the list that you're trying to come up with. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the third most scary movie ever made, you think? And Halloween being number 2, and The Exorcist being number 1.
No, hold on a second. I'm going to swap Halloween around.
Okay.
Because even though Halloween was a great movie and all, it wasn't really terrifying as much as it was just Chainsaw Massacre or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Gotcha.
Or really Psycho for that matter. So I'm going to put Halloween right there.
Okay, so Halloween is like number 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Psycho is your fourth scariest movie ever. Well, actually...
So let's go ahead and take a look.
So what we got here is the 10 is the out of the top 10. Number 10 is Eraserhead.
So Eraserhead. No,
it's a cult. It's 1977. The cult classic is the closest thing to being stuck in a nightmare. Not much. I've never seen this movie, Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Not much makes sense, but you get the feeling that nothing is quite right. Lynch employs dinners that walk off the plates, eerie silences that become deafening, and an infant that makes Rosemary's Baby seem cute and cuddly. So chilling, it's damn near unwatchable. So they say that is a very, very scary movie. I never heard of it. I need to see that.
Watch them, yeah. So that one's number 10.
Right. Number 9 is The Exorcist.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 1973. We've all seen bits and pieces of The Exorcist, I think.
Yeah.
Who made this one? Does it say the director was William Friedkin? Friedkin's Somber. Yeah. So so that's number 9, and so I've seen it. I haven't seen it recently. It is pretty scary.
Yeah.
I put it. It is definitely a top 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I'd probably put it closer to the number 1.
Yeah. I think that kind of stuff freaks me out. It does.
Yeah. So you put it as your
that's why I thought it was number 1.
Movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the number 8 is Halloween. Halloween 1978. Okay. And so where would you put Halloween?
Halloween was right here. Number 5.
Like 5. Okay, right.
So it's actually number 8.
All right. So number 7 is Don't Look Now, and you put it at number 8. So yeah. But hey, good
fairly
call.
Close to that one.
We've never seen it before.
Yeah.
That was 1973. That's a Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie head to Venice to forget the tragic accidental death of their child. However, it's impossible to forget when the dead child keeps reappearing. Nicholas Roeg's labyrinthine film is rich in dreamlike atmosphere and works on a purely psychological level. It disorients, frustrates, and builds to a humble climax, reminding that tragedy can never be forgotten, and neither can this film. That sounds like something I should probably check out.
Yeah, yeah.
So Don't Look Now. Okay, so now the number 6 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
Yeah, I thought that was number 2, but
yeah. And I like the I don't know about the beginning. I think I had seen that when I was much younger.
Yeah,
I really liked the remake of that one. That was really good. That one scared the crap out of me. The new one.
Actually, even Halloween's remake is awesome with Rob Zombie directing it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, I need to see that one. Yeah, that one sounds pretty cool.
Really cool.
Okay, so number 5 is Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
I thought that was number 3.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's still pretty close.
Yeah.
So number 4 is this Suspiria Suspiria.
Never heard of it.
And that was 1977. Suspiria is a full-on sensory assault by Italian horror master Dario Argento, the cinematic equivalent of an anxiety attack. A poor American ballet student arrives in Europe, and Argento berates her with weather, grisly murders, possible coven of witches, his virtuosic camera, and possible the freakiest score ever conceived by the director himself. The plot barely makes sense, so just let it terrorize you.
Sure, why not? Let's just watch a movie that doesn't make any sense, but it's scaring the hell out of me for some reason.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, well, definitely. We need to look these things up and get them on Netflix or whatever.
Number 3 is The Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Yeah, 1968.
The original black and white. Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead. So yeah, that one. I don't think I've seen the old one. I should, but
it's pretty decent.
Is it close to the remake?
Yeah, it's along the same lines, but
They must have done a lot better job with
some
the zombies.
things. Some things, they changed a little bit. The original Night of the Living Dead, I liked, even though I liked the remake 1994 better. But yeah, the original is still really good.
So the number two out of the top 10 most terrifying movies ever.
Yep.
Is Repulsion.
And I put it at number 10 because I have never seen it before.
So this was before Night of the Living Dead. This is 1965.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the director is Roman Polanski. Did more horror afterward with Rosemary's Baby and the Tenant. But this, a menacing, nightmarish profile of one woman's descent into madness. Maybe his most realized effort, Catherine Deneuve, embodies sexual repression as a young woman left alone in her apartment, and to her deluded fantasies for the weekend. The film is nearly silent, creating a mounting mood of dread. Try watching it alone with the lights off and see how long you last. That's what they say. Okay. Now that means there's only one left.
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yep, Psycho.
Psycho is the most...
Which I can see why people would say that. I don't think so.
Well, I have a theory. It's the earliest one. There isn't anything before 1960.
Yeah.
So all these other movies have Psycho to be a reference to.
Yeah.
How to make scary movies is
definitely
what they liked about Psycho.
The thought on it, the way he wrote it and everything to it was, like I said, it's a psychological horror.
Yeah.
The way it makes the person think and fear about it. Where the other ones, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is more of like a brutal...
Yeah,
brutal.
It's scary, but it's got a lot more gore.
Yeah. It's mainly about being hacked up and slashed and kidnapped and all kinds of bad stuff happening to you.
Well, not only that, but the family's twisted.
Yeah. And then Nightmare on Elm Street. That is just twisted. It's just twisted. But Psycho is definitely...
That's Alfred Hitchcock. So if you haven't seen Psycho, here's a little paragraph about this movie. So Alfred Hitchcock's blueprint for contemporary horror. More than just a film, Psycho was a cultural slap in the face. Censors wanted to ban it. And so while screaming audiences couldn't get enough of it, Hitch employs all of his tricks, shifting audiences' sympathies, killing off the main character halfway through the film, and a ton of macabre humor. But more importantly, he makes the horror intimate. So Norman Bates isn't a monster in the classic sense. He suggests that the greatest evil can lurk beneath the quietest, most pleasant surface.
Yeah.
So it makes it more spooky. Yeah. So that's it, guys. So there's the top 10 that MSN says. Give me your top 10 in the comments below what your top 10 scariest movies of all time are. And I'd love to see what those are. And so this is of the top 10 lists that I gave William. He put them in this order here.
Yeah.
To him, the most scariest movie was The Exorcist.
Yeah. That one
and I didn't make a list, but I put on here of the movies that I have seen. I remember being scared to death of Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and recently the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I watched that alone. I didn't really like that.
Yeah, all really great movies, except for the ones we haven't seen yet, which we really got to look at.
Yeah.
So, which ones have you not seen?
I don't think that I've seen the original Night of the Living Dead. I've never seen Eraserhead or Don't Look Now or Suspiria or Repulsion.
So you've seen all these ones?
I've seen those other 5, yeah.
So we're pretty much at the same, but I've seen Night of the Living Dead. And I liked it. great horror movie, but I don't think it's not really something that's scared me too much.
It's a good horror movie.
But
That's
it's a
for
good
sure.
horror movie, yeah.
All right, well, that wraps it up for this episode of Mixed In, and we'll see you in a while. Something new. I think we got something coming up about Facebook. All right. See you later.
Later. Did you want to take a picture of this? So you can...